Welcome to Adventures in Delicious. Today we are making one of my favorites. It's a celebration of spring, which I think starts tomorrow. Strawberry pie. I feel like strawberries are one of the things, it's the first fruit to come into season, at least in California, that signifies the change from winter, citrus, and pears to the berries that we associate with spring and summer. To start, what we need is 5 cups of chopped strawberries. You can hull them if you want, which is removing that center portion, but I eat the whole strawberry anyway, so I just leave that in there. Cut them into quarters, halves, depending on how big or small your strawberries are. And then to that, you're going to add some sugar. We want about half a cup. So strawberries are actually really healthy for you on their own. They're a good source of vitamin C, folic acid. Sugar is not the healthiest thing, but we're making pie, so you know, we can use it. And just sprinkle that on top. And kind of like when you make apple pie, that's gonna bring out some of the juices of the fruit. Also to that, a pinch of salt, pinch or two. Then we need some cornstarch, and that's gonna kind of thicken it up a bit, make that sauce have a little bit of consistency to it. So we want 3 tablespoons of that, about. Again, just sprinkle that on your fruit. All right. Next, a little bit of lemon juice. You could also use orange juice if you want, but I have Meyer lemon, so we're using lemon. About a tablespoon or 1 lemon's worth. Squeeze that guy. I love my Meyer lemons. Put them in everything, almost everything. All right on top there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of nutmeg and some vanilla, just because I really like those flavors. You can use a pre-ground nutmeg. I just happen to have the fresh whole nuts, which is really amazing. Did you know it came like this? It does. And then a little microplane grater. So just, you know, a little bit. And then a little bit of vanilla bean paste. A half a teaspoon of that. It's so gooey. It reminds me of slime, like the kind you used to get when you were a kid from the 25-cent machine. Get out of there. Okay, you might need to use your finger on that one a little bit. This stuff is great. I love using this for like sugar cookies at Christmas time. So good. Okay, so we're just gonna stir that all up. Oh yeah, look at that. I wanna eat it right now. And we're gonna set this aside and get our pie crust ready. So this is a pre-bought I got at Whole Foods, a gluten-free crust for me. And we're just gonna fill that crust up with our strawberries. Whoop! Try not to miss the pie. Wow, look at all that juice. And then we're gonna put a pre-rolled out crust that I made earlier on top. And I will have that recipe posted on the Adventures in Delicious blog if you need a pie crust recipe. Otherwise, just use your favorite dessert pie crust recipe. Our pie crust that I pre-rolled out ahead of time between parchment and refrigerated so it would firm up a bit. Super important with the gluten-free. I'm just warming it up a little bit to make it pliable so we can place that over our pie. Give it a little massage. And take that top off. Ooh, look at that. So good. I also put some vanilla bean in here so it's a little speckled. So we're gonna put some polka dots in our crust to aerate it a bit. Strawberries are funny, they're not actually a berry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but berries are technically a fruit whose seeds are on the inside, and as you can see on strawberries, they're completely polka dotted with little seeds on their outside. So blueberries are technically berries, cranberries, avocado is actually a berry randomly enough, but strawberries, botanically not really a berry, but delicious nonetheless. Okay, so now that we have our polka dotted pie crust, we're going to very carefully place this on top of the pie. This part's always a little bit scary. 2, 3. There we go. Carefully remove your parchment off the top. Try not to tear that crust if possible. And like I said, with the gluten-free, this part's tricky. Yay! So now that you've got your pie top on there, you want to trim this a little bit. And then we're just going to fold that over and crimp our crust. Some people get super fancy with this. I want my pie, so we're gonna make it rustic looking and pop it in the oven. You can put this in the oven as is, but we're gonna do a little egg wash on top to give it a nice sheen. So I have that here. It's just an egg mixed up. And just use your little brush and paint the top of it with some egg. And that's just gonna help give it a nice golden color when it bakes. All right, and last but not least, top it with a sprinkling of sugar. It's ready for the oven. We're gonna pop it in a 425 oven for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna lower the heat to 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes more. So in she goes.